But a lot of times I feel like guys feel like I'm not going to just validate anything because even if it's wrong, even if you believe she's wrong, her feelings are right because they're her feelings.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is like we always say, feelings versus facts. You can feel however you want. 2 + 2 is still 4.
Yeah.
You can say it's 6 till you're blue in the face.
Yeah.
And okay, babe, you believe 2 + 2 is 6? I respect that. That's your feelings. I don't see it that way. And now this is one of those times where we're just at an impasse.
Yeah.
So we just want to talk about why 2 + 2 isn't 6.
And welcome back to another episode of Life After I Do podcast. I am here with you today. We'll wait.
Woo!
I'm your host today, Nisha G, aka
Hosted with the mostest.
and I'm here with my sexy.
We got to change your name to
sexy
host with the shelf.
Sexy husband with the triceps.
Stop trying to sleep with me.
My hubby tricep game is coming through. So we're going to refer to him as hubby tricep. So I'm joined here today with the one and the only hubby tricep. How you doing?
My name is Molito.
How you doing, hubby tricep?
Look here, people. My wife be creeping on me in the gym.
What's wrong with that?
I just see nothing wrong with it.
You just didn't know I've been getting footage.
Yeah, apparently, people, she has been secretly recording me working out for her own pleasure. So she come home and I don't know what she do with the footage. I can imagine what she's doing because I know what I would do.
He was doing pull-ups and I just had my phone like this and I was like, yep, that'll do it.
You ain't got to worry about me.
Ain't got to worry about me. That'll do it.
Hey, Booskies.
Hi.
I would ask you how your week was, but I kind of want to go first.
Well, I can only imagine why you want to go first.
What?
How was your week?
Go Birds.
Bird gang.
Bird gang.
Bird gang.
My Philadelphia Eagles, rain, sleet, or snow, the Eagles train to go, have won the 2024.
The 2025.
Yeah, no, the game's played in 25, but it's the 24 season.
Oh, it's the 2024 season. Okay.
The 2024 Super Bowl.
Nice.
Which is all I want. See, I'm 2 for 2.
They didn't just win.
Oh, we
let's
whooped their ass.
Hold on. They did not just win. That was an embarrassment. That was a blowout.
We whooped them. We whooped them pretty bad.
That was
and I am now 2 for 2 in this sports season. My Dodgers delivered for me.
Okay.
My Eagles have delivered for me.
Okay.
And this message right here is to LeBron James. I have been very hypercritical of you in your career, especially before you're with the Lakers. I kind of eased up off you once you joined the Lakers because that is my organization.
Mm-hmm.
If you could just let me get my triple crown, if you could just pull out a W this year, LeBron, and just win the championship for me.
That's all you ask.
I will never say another bad word about you
ever
in your basketball. First of all, let me say this. I do say bad things about LeBron, but I say bad things about LeBron and basketball.
Okay.
I am on record multiple times of saying that I am a LeBron off the court fan. I love the images he portrays as a father and as a husband and as a black man. I love that LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of LeBron, the basketball
athlete.
player. I mean, it goes without saying I am a Kobe fan. Y'all can do with that what you want. But my week is great.
I know he's been riding a high.
I've been, especially because the thing is, I never really say nothing because for 2 reasons. One, my team has let me down a lot.
Right.
So I know what it's like to be there and lose, or almost be there and lose, or thinking for sure you about to win and then still
it don't
lose.
happen.
Right. So I don't really say nothing until, that's why people were texting me and all I ever kept saying was the job's not done.
Yeah.
Job's not done.
Even when we were at the Super Bowl party and it was like 24, I think it was like 24-0, and everybody was like,
Oh, it's
"Oh,
over.
this is what it's gonna look like for the rest of the game." And he's like, "It's not over.
Job's not
Like
done.
it's not over because yeah, it's 24 points, but we don't know what that second half is gonna bring."
The job's not
And
done.
that's what like the Chief fans that were around us, because like all the guys were outside, all the girls were inside.
That purposely
And
done. No way.
the Chief fans that were in there came. First of all, when we first got there, they walked in with such confidence. They had their Chief shirts
Oh, yeah.
on,
I know.
and they were like ready, like hair dyed red,
Mhm.
everything. They were like yes, we finna do this. And then as we start to see how the game was progressing,
It is-
one of the ladies at the house, she took her sweater. She was like, "It makes me want to just cover up my shirt."
Yeah, go back into hiding, Chiefs Kingdom.
I was like, "Don't worry, you are in a judgment-free zone. Like, don't even worry
I
about
only
it."
know one legit Chiefs fan.
Uh-huh.
And when I say she is legit a Chiefs fan, she was a Chiefs fan when they was dog shit.
You talking about Mel?
Yes.
Yeah.
My friend Mel, Big Mel,
Yeah.
she has been from day one. She don't care. She that's the only person. When we lost to the Chiefs 2 years ago, she was the only person I texted. I said, "Congratulations, because you're the only real Chiefs fan I know." All these rest
She's
of
die
you,
hard.
I'm not sending no congratulations text to no bandwagoners. Right? It's just like a lot of people say that I'm the only Eagles fan they know that's been rocking with Eagles for and again, I'm not that Eagles fan that I'm not going to talk crap about your team.
Unless
Because
they're the Cowboys.
oh yeah, I hate the Cowboys.
I was like, that's not true. You talk
I-
crap about the Cowboys all the time.
I do little jabs.
Okay.
The Cowboys are the only team that I hate.
Are you strongly dislike?
No, I hate them. It's
Oh,
not a dislike. I hate the Cowboys.
okay.
And I say at the beginning of every football season, as long as we are 2-14, I am happy. As long as we beat the Cowboys twice, we can lose to everybody else.
Really, babe? We could be 2-14 as long as we didn't lose to the
We can
Cowboys.
lose to everybody else. Just please don't lose to the Cowboys. That's the only games I've like. Please don't. Lose.
Well, for your sake, I pray they don't ever lose to the Cowboys.
Oh, we lost a lot to the Cowboys.
Oh, have you?
Not recently, a lot.
Okay.
But in the past, a lot.
Oh, okay.
Most of the time,
Apparently, it still wasn't enough for the Cowboys, though.
most of the time we split the games, but this year we just
The wins, it still wasn't enough for the Cowboys.
this year
so
the Cowboys
it is what
got
it
their
is.
ass slapped
But
twice.
yeah, so I'm really excited
So
that
my
you
week was
got
great.
your Eagles.
And then so not only that, my baby,
Yeah, that was my week.
my little I'm gonna start calling her Simone Jr.
I wouldn't take it that far.
All
I
right.
wouldn't go that far.
I'm gonna call her. Now she don't say Simone. I'm gonna call her Simone.
because she calls her Simone Biles.
So-
She'd
I'm
be
call-
like, "Mom, I'm gonna be just like Simone Biles." I was like, "Okay, girl."
Baby, her name is Simone.
She was like, "I know, Simone." And you'd be like, "No, Phoenix, it's Simone." Yeah, I know Simone.
But that is her favorite person in the world.
Yes.
That's who she looks up
Shouts
to.
out to Simone Biles. Our daughter is obsessed.
I should get her a poster.
Yeah.
She probably like. But yeah, my
But-
baby, she showed out. Then my Eagles showed out. I mean, I'm having as a sports fan, I'm having a good year. Now, if LeBron could just do this
Oh
for
my
me,
gosh.
I'm not
Brian,
gonna
could you
ask
do this for
Luca.
me?
I'm not gonna really ask Luca, but LeBron, I know you 40. If you could just a little more magic for one more year, and just give me that triple crown, my perfect. If I could, like I said, if the Lakers win this year, I might retire from being a sports fan.
Oh,
Because I have
goodness, that's not a
achieved-
thing.
I have achieved perfection. All of my teams have won. In the course of like 9 months, all of my teams would have won.
Oh. Well, I hope that goes well for you. I really do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like my week, like how you said at the end of your week, the highlight of my week was watching baby girl do her second competition. She attended the AGA Long Beach Invitational.
Yeah.
It was the title was Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend.
Mhm.
I thought that was super cute. But she did the AGA Long Beach Invitational
Uh-huh.
gymnastics. And it's one of the biggest invitationals that she'll have too this year. And it went so good. Like
She was
to
so
see her
happy.
light up compared
Christmas
to
tree.
her first, compared to how the season started, right? If you guys remember, like we had the whole meltdown because she didn't place how she thought she would place. She only walked away with one medal for an overall. And this competition, she walked away with 4 medals. She placed
Should have
in
been 5.
beam. It should have been, honestly. And, we could just be those parents.
No,
But
we are those parents, but we're not wrong in this case.
he didn't realize he was that parent until this competition.
Right. Because I was about to go do that myself.
But she medaled in vault, beam, floor, and all around. So that was really, really good. And it's crazy because she leveled up as far as score wise in all categories except for vault this competition.
Yeah.
And then she ends
No,
up
she did better in vault this year.
no, that's the only one she did it because that's the one
right.
that she placed in.
Well,
so her scores have gone up compared to her last performance. She increased in all her scores except for vault, and then she turns around and places in vault.
Yeah.
And then she moved up all around like 6 spots, I think.
But the thing about vault was I felt like the judges were like hypercritical of everybody.
Oh, of course, because it was a huge invitational. Like you saw how many girls there was.
But at the same time, what I noticed later on in the event, they got lax.
No, it wasn't the same judges. There wasn't the same judges on every event.
No, it was.
No, it wasn't.
I watched because I know.
I watched it till I was there.
Because I know Karen. I don't
Bye,
know her
Maurice.
name, but I call her Karen.
Goodbye.
And I'm pretty sure it was her that took points from my baby. Oh my baby was vertical.
Now he sounds like his daughter did. Her first competition.
My baby
That's points for me.
My baby was vertical.
Okay.
It was flawless.
Mm-hmm. I saw the video and I roll it like her performances, her meets, I roll them back in slow motion just so that I could see her form, because I'm like, okay, we're going to break this down with coach too, because I need to see, like, usually I can see this is where you got deducted points. Like, you weren't 45-degree angle or whatever, but some of the points, it just don't make sense.
And then don't get me started on the floor points.
I do think she should have scored higher in floor, but the thing is too, is I also went back and I looked at the middle part of her routine when she does like her round off to the back handspring, and the baby's legs was completely bent. I mean, you can't, I couldn't fight that one. I said, girl, it looked like you didn't know how to point a toe.
Are you a parent or are you a judge?
I'm both, because I like to keep it real with her. Because when she comes to me and she asks me these questions, that's why I record it and we go over it together and I play it in slow motion so I can be like, see?
Okay, go birds.
You know what I'm saying?
Go birds.
But yeah, she was the excitement that she experienced, the joy that she experienced. My heart was so full.
No, my thing is not her coach being surprised. She goes, how many she did?
Shut up, not her coach being surprised.
I know that she don't always take things seriously, but I felt like that day she was serious about it.
Well, I think it's now because she knows what to expect, and she knows that when she goes into these types of situations now, and especially each time she goes into them, she's seeing it on a larger and larger scale, and she knows that, okay, I'm up against people who like
they do this.
You know what I'm saying? Because like her on the other half, like she had a teammate who, I still think she did great.
No, she did
but
great.
She didn't have like, the best of outcomes. And she was talking about how, because she was a little nervous. Like there was a lot of girls, a lot of them older, and I honestly wasn't expecting to see as many older girls at that level. It was a lot of older girls at that level, and I was like, okay, did I miss something? Did they add a subcategory in here? Late. Because I'm like, she's about 14, my kid is 7,
and they in the same. why they in the same box?
But like, I just need to know what's going on. But yeah, but it was fun. It was really good. I think I was just it was good for me because I know I felt proud because she was proud of herself.
I felt proud too.
She was proud of herself.
The only thing I didn't like about that day is the fact that she knew that we were like happy for her and we were pouring into her, and she tried to take that shit to.
Oh, she milked it. She milked it. Can we get ice cream? Yes. Can we go to eat? Yes. And then where I do the line, she was like, "Can we go to the mall?"
No,
I said no.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
I said, girl, you really trying it. I said, you actually have homework. This is still technically a school night. We are going home to do homework.
Because when she said, can we go to the mall? I said,
ma'am, no. What you need to go to the mall for? And she don't want to do nothing but go to Claire's.
That's it.
That's the only store she want to go to is Claire's, so she can pick out more makeup and stuff. That's all she want to do. No, ma'am, you're not going to have me in Claire's for 45 minutes.
She want to go run it up in Claire's.
Even
when we take her clothes shopping, she be like, okay,
that's
so
nice. Where's Claire's?
Where's Claire's? Can we get to Claire's?
But you know what I just thought about? I was like, Claire's for her must feel like Sephora for me.
It must be. I don't
I
have
just thought about that.
I
I
don't
was
have
like,
that store anymore.
what?
That I feel like, oh, I can't wait to get there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's not the hat store.
No, I need to get
It
back
used
in.
to be the hat store.
Then it was Best Buy. Then it was Home Depot.
Yeah.
I do like Home Depot. I ain't gonna lie.
I can't with you. Yeah. So, I mean, but those, that was a pretty good week. I can't complain. Now we just got to like keep, get into it. Now she's going into her, I'm tired now.
I just need a
It's just,
break.
I just need a break.
I need a
I just need a
long
long
break.
break. And I was like, okay, well, we're going to get, no, I just need a long break from school.
Right. No, what you need is go upstairs and take a nap.
Right. So let's go ahead and hop into today's topic.
What we got today, Boofski Ronies?
Excuse me.
We talking about your shelf?
Today we're going to be talking about
Your
love and
shelf?
respect. We're not going to be talking about my shelf. We're going to be talking about love and respect and about how apparently men view respect as love, and
Some do.
women give respect when they feel loved.
Oh.
So it's kind of like
You better respect me at all times.
It's kind of like a
You better
cycle.
respect me
when
at all times.
when women don't feel love, it's hard to give the respect, and when men don't get the respect, they don't feel the love. So how do we meet in the middle? Like, what's
You better respect me at all times. I don't care if you feel loved or not.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's not how that works, but
Better put some res-
I'm pretty sure that's not.
In the words of the great Birdman,
Uh-huh.
put some respect on my name.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if Birdman is great, but
So anyway, yeah, so I mean, I know, like, from my perspective, typically, more generally, like, I feel love when I feel like I have my sense of security. There is like trust there. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I perceive love.
okay.
What brought this up for me was our little spat the other night.
What's that?
When I had asked for my lip gloss.
Oh yeah.
So let me paint the
You ain't
background.
gotta tell them everything.
I do. Listen,
They think our marriage is perfect.
no, they don't. Real relationship, real marriage discussions. Okay, so we were laying in bed canoodling, and he wanted to like cuddle and be all playful and stuff. And so I have a nighttime like routine. Okay, like I have my skincare routine. I have like my hair routine. I have my things that I do. And I had gotten in the bed and I had forgotten, after I did my skincare routine, I had forgot to do my lip treatment. And so I was like, oh, I just need my oil on the my vanity is on his side of the bed. And I was just like, hey, I need my oil for my lips because I like to go to bed shining like a nickel. And so he was doing something on the TV. He was like, I'll do it. Just give me a second. And I was like, oh, I'll get it. And so I proceeded to almost get out the bed. And he was like, babe, I'm going to get it for you. And I was like, okay. So he finishes finding his channel. And so I'm thinking, once he's done finding his channel, like he said, I'm going to get it for you. He didn't turn the other way to get the lip oil, right? So he comes back over to me and he's like trying to be playful and cuddle and stuff. And I was like, can I? And I was like, can you give me my lip oil and stuff first? Because I didn't want to like fall asleep and not have anything on my lips before I went to bed. Cause I like to make sure everything's on because in case I fall asleep. And so he's like, I'm going to get it in a minute. And I was like, can you get it now? And he was like, babe, just relax. I'm going to get it. And so then he looks at me and I give him this look like,
it was the most
like I'm not like in a playful mood. I wasn't mad. I was just annoyed because you said that you would get it after you were done trying to find the channel you were looking for, and you did it, and now you want to come over and you want to do like what you want to do, which is be playful and cuddle and stuff. And I get it. But I was just saying, if you would follow through with what you said you were going to do first, then I could be in a better mood to do that. But like, can I just get my lip oil? That's all I wanted. So he's like, forget it. He reaches over, he gets the lip oil, he gives it to me, and then he gives me the cold shoulder.
Night was wrong.
That he turns over, he's like, I'm going to bed. Gives me the remote, gives me my lip oil. He was like, good night, I'm going to bed. And turns his back on me. And I was like, are you shitting me right now?
First of all.
I was like, hold on.
First of all,
hold on.
I sleep with my back to you every night.
Okay, but you already listen.
I prefer to lay on that side. So
I know that, but you already know because we've talked. We've already had the discussion, which is why
Here we go.
But so of course that made me feel some type of way. So I was like, I was quite angry, to be honest. I was quite angry and I was like, seriously? And he's like, what? I'm going to bed. And I was like, okay, so like, you're just gonna act like you're not gonna be all playful and stuff anymore. Like now you have an attitude
Playtime was over.
because I asked you to do what you said you were gonna do. Like you're the one who was like, okay, give me a minute, like let me finish doing this and then I'll get it for you. And then you didn't do what you said
But
you were gonna do, and then now the whole energy changed. So
and
anywho,
that's how I know you didn't listen to what I said.
the next day, like, we come together, we're kind of talking it out, and I explained to you that I didn't feel like I had told him I felt like abandoned. I was angry, I felt abandoned, I didn't feel loved. And he was like, like pretty much like, what are you talking about? Right. And so that's how this whole thing kind of came up, like you feeling more respected when you're having like those intimate times, that love and all your playfulness and stuff like that, and then me giving that when I feel loved, when I feel taken care of, when I feel secured and stuff like that. And when those two paths don't meet, it's like a vicious cycle, because had we not discussed it or talked about it the next day and just went about our business, it's like more of that would have continued or
Well,
could have continued.
Well, I didn't feel disrespected, and I told you I told you what it was. I told you it was the look. The look on your face shut everything down for me. I said, okay, well, I'm
What
done.
look was it?
like you was cutting through me with laser eyes. That look of
I had laser eyes?
that look of just sheer,
That was just like my serious.
sheer madness and anger on your face.
It
In
was
your
not
eye,
that
your,
deep.
it was, and your eyes pierced through me. I said, "Oh, I'm done. Like this is not the energy I want to be next to. I'm done. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed."
So that's what kind of like got me thinking, and I was just like, it in these little instances, like I think that's where the intentionality comes from, because if we didn't have the discussion about what you perceived happened in that moment, what I perceived happened in that moment, then
we didn't act like adults. If we wouldn't act like,
well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, had we not tried to like talk it out, see where it came from, and like making you aware, because I know for me, there's been plenty of times where I wouldn't even make you aware of how something like that made me feel. I just probably would continue to lash out. Like,
you don't lash out. You do subtle little things.
Like what? You trying to say I'm petty patty?
Yes.
I mean, I have tendencies.
You do subtle little things.
I have tendencies. But so like just breaking it down in categories for like as far as love with security and connection, right? So women perceive love as emotional security, trust, and deep connection. And without love, respect may feel forced or insecure or insincere. Sorry. And I think about that. And I think about how that relates to me or how that could relate to our relationship. And that's like, as far as recent events, that was one of the most recent events where I was kind of like, you didn't get what you wanted because this is how I was feeling. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just looking.
What? What?
Keep going.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just looking.
Oh gosh.
Looks don't matter. You just said.
No, I just say looks didn't matter. Okay. I just didn't know that's how you would have described the look that I gave you because that's not what I was aiming for.
Well,
but
that's what you delivered.
Okay, yeah. Emotional intimacy over status. Women value emotional vulnerability and open communication over external displays of success and status. I think that goes without saying. Respect is earned through action.
Okay.
I think that's a big one. Women feel respect grows from consistent love, consistent effort, and a mutual understanding rather than being an automatic given.
Okay.
Kind of like how you said earlier, where you gonna respect me regardless.
You gonna respect me, okay?
Regardless.
Are things gonna switch up?
You gonna respect me regardless.
Are like Kendrick said, we gonna squabble up?
You're not Kendrick. Cut it out.
I never said. I would never. I could never be the GOAT.
Right.
I'm
teasing. Fear of being controlled or
with the right
dismissed.
amount of money and writers, I could be Drake.
Oh my god! Why?
I'm just saying.
Why?
Let people know where I stand.
Why? Fear of being controlled or dismissed. If respect is emphasized without love, women may feel controlled or unheard rather than valued. I know we've had many
You
discussions
feel
about that.
controlled? I
No,
was gonna
I
say,
said
I know you don't feel controlled.
it says respect is emphasized if respect is emphasized without love,
Mm,
right? Because, we've had discussions, many discussions about when I tell you when I don't feel heard sometimes.
mhm.
Yeah.
Sometimes
So,
you're just not saying nothing.
uh, really? Really? Okay, Demel. I'm not doing this with you today. I'm not doing this with you today. Don't smile at me. When love is present, respect flows naturally.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
I wasn't respected that night.
Um, women who feel cherished, listened to.
Mm,
Let me highlight that part
I
because I
listen.
feel like a lot of men need to listen to that part.
I listen to
When
you.
women feel listened to.
How are you not listening to? I told you. I
No,
listen.
I'm just saying now I'm just speaking like on
Oh,
a
now in
general
general.
surface
Oh,
in
okay.
general because
Not
I
not
know
me
that can be
directly.
hard.
Not me directly.
That can be a hard
That's
task
what she
for
said.
the male species sometimes, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So women who feel cherished, listened to, and emotionally secure often find it easier to show respect to their partner.
Oh, okay. Do they?
What do you think?
Now, do you believe that?
I absolutely believe
Oh,
that.
okay. Okay.
I absolutely believe
Yeah,
that.
well,
You
it
do
should be
you?
true. It should be true. I believe it. Who feel cherished, but then again, men can't help how you feel. Mhm.
I don't know if I entirely agree with
Yeah.
that, but okay.
Sometimes you guys are emotionally unstable.
Okay, we're not gonna do that. we're not, we're not gonna do that.
Sometimes you.
Okay, but here's the
Sometimes
thing:
no. Let
if
me
we
finish.
are,
Let me finish my thought.
go ahead.
Sometimes they turn into Homelander, and they just want to rip your heart out
Okay.
because they have a little unease or displeasure in the moment,
Uh huh.
and
So
it's worth your soul.
if you are the most stable of the species
Hmm.
between man and
I
woman,
never
and
said I
women
never said we were.
are more emotionally unstable.
Oh, okay. I didn't say we're stable. I said we're more logical. There's a lot of men are not who are unstable.
Okay, so are you?
Say Drake.
Oh my gosh, you have to stop. You have to stop.
What? He's unstable.
How is he unstable? You don't even know that man.
I know enough.
You don't even know that man.
Continue. I'm sorry.
You don't even know that man. But yeah, so I just feel like it is a cycle, and without intentionality, without communication
Intentionality.
and communicate, you're really getting on my nerves today.
No, you bring out the big words.
Communication and
Uh-huh.
intentionality. And now I can't even say it, intentionality.
Mm-hmm.
It can be like a cycle that can lead down a really, really dark road.
Okay.
Do you agree or disagree?
I agree because essentially you guys are not on the same page, and when you're not on the same page, a plethora
Mm-hmm.
of obstacles and challenges will arise
Yeah.
because we're on the same mission, but we are on a different mission at the same time because
Yeah.
we're not seeing the playing field the same.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I agree with that.
Yeah. So what about from the male's perspective?
We don't know what y'all be talking about.
What?
I don't know. From the male's perspective, males often perceive respect as a primary expression of love.
Okay.
So, like your respect is how you show us love,
Right.
right?
Why is that so important?
Because respect is affirming.
Okay.
You know,
That makes
so
sense.
it makes us feel love when we're respected, and pretty much like you're confirming, affirming our decision, our choices, and our decisions, and our role in the relationship. Like we're doing what we're supposed to,
Yeah.
and we're operating at a level that is acceptable to the family unit.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Or
what I'm
the
saying?
relationship. Or,
Right,
yeah.
right. And a lot of men prefer actions over words. So like
Yeah.
you can only tell me so much, right? Like since we getting personal,
Oh my gosh.
you know, the love of my life, she told me, I don't know, what was that, 5 days ago that she would have thumbnails for me. And it's 5 days and she's yet to produce any thumbnails. So, and this is not the first time this happened.
Right.
The
Fair. That's
last
fair.
time y'all girl Nisha G was supposed to deliver something she didn't, and I went ahead and did it myself. And
That's fair.
and she didn't even thank me.
Now that's not true.
You
That's
say
not true. Don't do
you
that.
say good job, babe, for finishing that. You
And
didn't
I
say
said, thanks,
no.
babe.
You didn't say thanks for doing my job.
Okay, I didn't finish it with thanks for doing my
Yes,
job, but I
yes,
said thanks.
yes. But also,
So
like,
thanks for doing my job, babe.
also, when men feel disrespected, they feel like they're unloved,
Yeah, I can
and
understand that.
especially when the disrespect is unintentional, right?
Okay.
Like basically, like, for me, like when it's unintentional, that means like you're just going around subconsciously disrespecting
Disrespecting
because
you?
you're not intentionally. So it's
Yeah.
now it's engraved in the way you behave or
Uh-huh.
interact with me,
Mhm.
and a lot of times I'd be like, look, I ain't trying to turn up on you, but you know, but you're not gonna just sit here and be emotionally withdraw from my feelings
Mhm.
because we're supposed to be in tune with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Same
saying?
team. Same
So
team,
so
same
you're
goal.
not gonna keep rejecting me,
Not me. Do you know who I
not
am?
me.
You know who I am?
I'm big dog over here.
Oh gosh. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
I'm number one. I get the big piece of chicken.
Always,
You,
babe.
you hear what I'm saying?
Always.
You know what I'm saying? And then also like men, they view love, obviously they view respect as love, and they want that to be um in public and private, right?
Mhm.
But I do believe that public for men is probably more important because um we don't want it to feel like um I do think that there is a certain level of appearance or expectation when it comes to other people, right?
Mhm.
Like if we were out in public and you yelling at me, you going back and forth with me, and people looking like, oh, if she,
Right.
it's just like
If she's willing to do that in front of us, I can
right,
only
right.
imagine what happens behind
It's just
closed
like
doors.
it's just like when you out and you see a kid misbehaving. Like if that kid feels if he comfortable doing this here now, he probably cussing her out at home. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like
Right.
it's kind of like it's kind of like that that balance of things, right? Like
Yeah.
so I do feel like the public being respected in public is a lot more. And I feel like being respected in public also leads to it being, respected in private because
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
And I agree with you on that one too, because, and I say that only because of firsthand watching people we know
Mhm.
disrespect their partner publicly.
It's
It is, for one,
it's weird.
it's
So uncomfortable.
and it's so uncomfortable.
So
Like
uncomfortable.
we have been in those situations where we have seen our friends and other associates that we have who are married,
Yeah.
and either the wife is being hella disrespectful and talking out of pocket, or the husband is being hella disrespectful or talking out of pocket, like about or to their significant other,
Mhm.
and we just was like, oh. Like,
Couldn't be me.
you're right. Like under no circumstances.
Couldn't be me.
So I do. I mean, would you say that I disrespect you in public? Because I make it a valid effort not to try not to.
Only when you're really upset.
Okay.
You might say something a little out of pocket.
Uh-huh.
Never nothing really major.
Okay.
You might get a little out of pocket. And that's why I might just look at you. Because I'm like, if I respond, it's gonna be worse. So
Like it'll be like poking the bear.
And then when people see you get out of pocket and I remain cool, then I get the brownie points.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So it's
but
like,
then when we get in the car, I'm like, hold up.
I mean, I listen here. I do my best. I do my best. Like, but as far as just blatantly downright
No,
being disrespectful,
you don't do that often.
Oh my gosh, I often really don't play with me. Don't play with me.
You don't do that often.
Don't play with me.
You don't do that often.
I really what?
You what?
What?
No, go ahead, finish.
Oh, I was gonna say that I do respect you.
So 92% of the time.
Marie, stop it. Stop it.
Shout out to the black women. See what I did there?
No, I didn't.
92%. Oh my God.
No.
I thought you was in tune with the culture. But I will say that a man that feels respected and feels love is more likely to reciprocate that to their partner.
Yeah.
And more likely to be more emotional, more affectionate, and interact with them in a more loving way and try to be more like respectable and more like caring towards them
Right.
because I do feel like men are, for the most part, most men are very reciprocal when it comes to things like,
Mhm.
and it makes it a lot easier for me to be soft, to be loving, to be caring when I feel like I'm receiving that same
Right.
energy, right?
Right. But
But when I'm not,
and that's the part that
I'll look at you.
that's the part that I really want to kind of touch on, because I think it becomes one of those things where, if, let's say, for instance, if a husband is feeling like he's not getting the respect that he deserves for all that he does,
Mhm,
but then the wife is feeling like she's not loved and cared for and she's not secure,
mhm.
who gonna be, and no one's saying anything, right?
Right.
So it just continuously perpetuates. He continues to feel disrespected,
Right.
right? Because now
And
he's
she don't
like,
and she don't feel she feel unheard and
and
not seen.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
And then that's her form of not feeling loved and not feeling secure.
Right.
So how do we get past that when that cycle is happening? Because it does happen.
The thing, but see, I think in situations like that, a conversation has to be had, and someone has to have
That's the part.
the be brave enough to approach the subject. Because I do feel a lot of times that it's not that whatever the problem is can't be solved.
Mhm.
It's the problem's not being addressed.
Right.
Right.
And we're looking at each other as the
Right.
problem
Right.
instead of looking at the problem
Because
as the problem.
because I will say this, a lot of times we've had these conversations, and a lot of times, and like I'm feeling a type of way, you're feeling a type of way,
Mhm.
and then when we talk about what's going on, we're like, well, damn, okay,
We're
well,
actually upset about the same
we're
thing.
mad about the same thing. We're just perceiving it. We're just
Differently.
perceiving it differently,
Mhm.
and then that goes on. But I think that also comes along to say we've done a good job, and we've done the work of having a lot of non-judgmental conversations with
Yeah.
each other, no matter how hard it gets.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you be saying stuff, and I'll be like,
I know.
I gotta take it. I just gotta take it.
I be
Pause.
I be seeing how you be like,
Ooh, because sometimes you be saying stuff,
and I try, and I think I'm having gentle gloves on.
sometimes you be saying stuff, and like I can feel the heat in my body,
And I have gentle gloves
like,
on.
and I'll be like, calm down, She trying to be cool.
I'm trying.
She, even though she hitting every nerve, she done hit every
Yeah.
nerve on your spine.
But we
And
talked.
now she up to the neck, and you like, if she hit the next one,
We don't know.
woo!
But have we not had the conversation about why you feel that way when we have certain discussions?
We've had that conversation, but we're not talking about that now.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it. I think when
here's
you
the thing.
when
Here's
you
the
do
thing.
when you do it more often, like,
Uh-huh.
as far as trying to have the uncomfortable conversation,
Yeah.
as far as trying to say, like, look, this is you did
You
this and
get
it made
used-
me feel
you-
this
you
way.
get used to
I
it.
feel like you start getting
Yeah,
used
you
to
get
it,
used to it.
and then more and more of the ego
Hold on.
starts to diminish.
When I say used to it, you get used to it in a good way. Because I know that when we're having those conversations,
I'm not doing it to beat you down.
Even though what you're saying is upsetting me,
Right.
I know that you're not saying it out of malice. I know
Right.
that you're saying it because
Right.
that's generally how you feel.
Mhm.
And so then I have to ask myself, why am I mad at how she feels?
Yep.
Right?
That's it.
And why is her feelings making my feelings feel this way?
Mhm.
And then a lot of times you be talking and I be mad because, who wants to be judged or feel like they being talked to or
Mhm.
talk at? But then when I walk away and sit and think about it, I'm like, God damn, shit, here we go. Now I got to go in there and talk to her and tell her she was right. And that's the one thing I don't like doing, is telling her she's right.
That's the one thing I don't like doing.
I'd rather go buy her a car than tell her she's right.
That's a little much.
No, but it's the damn truth.
That's a bit much.
But I go in there and be like, well, swallow my pride.
Yeah.
Babe, you were right. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll
And I appreciate that.
and I tell her, I tell you all the time, I'm gonna try to work on it.
Yeah.
Now give me some time, because Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah.
It was destroyed in a day.
Yeah.
But it wasn't built. Actually, it wasn't destroyed. Well, actually, it was, but
Yeah,
it
and
actually was
that's-
destroyed over time. Because
But
of the
that's why I
politics.
always say
But-
too, it's like you have to do your own work of bringing yourself aware to it.
Right.
Because, like, when it happens, there's been times where you'll say, like, oh, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm really going to work on it. I'm going to try to be aware of it.
But I'm
And then
not
you
aware of
do
it.
it.
'Cause I'm
And
not
I
aware.
just look at you.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, okay, remember what you said about.
And sometimes hold on, you do that sometimes too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But sometimes I catch myself, sometimes I don't. And even when I don't catch myself, and then after the fact, like, I'll say something, I'm like, oh, fuck, I fucked up.
Mhm.
Man. But then I'll apologize in the
you'll-
moment.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't catch it this time, but I'm going to do better to try
Yeah.
to catch it next time.
But that's progress.
It's progress.
That's progress, because after it's happened, it's like, okay,
It's happened.
it
I
still
know.
happened,
Look here.
but the response to it
Yeah.
is quicker. So
Right.
therefore that's
Right.
progress, you know?
Right.
But yeah, totally agree.
And a lot of times it's not that I'm not trying to be mindful. It's just that like when you're having conversations or you're going through moments, especially when you're heated and you feel the way you feel,
Mhm.
and you haven't reached the level of clarity yet where you can come outside of how you feel.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm gonna say what I feel
Right. Well,
on my
because
chest.
you're still holding your emotions as priority.
Right.
And I think
Which is a normal human thing to do.
exactly, but I think that's where, like, one piece of advice I had received from a therapist once was, if you focused on my needs and I focused on your needs,
Mhm.
then we should get somewhere,
Right.
right? Because if you already know if I tell you what my needs are to help me to feel loved, secured, to help me, be in the love state,
Mhm.
and then I know all the things that help you to be in the protection, the giving, the providing, the love state,
Mhm.
if we focused on that, then I don't have to focus so much on my emotional
Right.
priority, because I'm already feeling that it's being met, because I'm wanting to focus on yours and I'm wanting to
Right.
make sure that yours is taken care of. Like
Right.
that becomes my priority, and it only becomes my priority because mine is being taken care of. Like my mind is not settled on, well, you don't feel this and you don't feel that.
Mhm.
Obviously I'm feeling it, and that's what's making me
Right.
want to make your
Right.
emotions a priority.
Right.
And I think that's where the biggest piece of all this is that we have to, like, who's going to be the first one to say, like, okay, this is ridiculous.
Mhm.
Let's sit down and have this conversation. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm not feeling like I'm getting what I need. You don't feel like you're getting what you need, but we can't keep going about, well, because what ends up happening is what she's saying is, I'm not gonna do this for him because he
Yeah.
doesn't even do this for me.
Right.
And then you're on the other end
And
saying,
see,
you know what? She don't even
she ain't doing this
respect me.
one.
Yeah, so I'm
Right.
not gonna do anything. Like,
And-
she expect me to do this. She don't even respect me.
And to that point, first of all, I want to say shout out to the lip because the lip look good.
Thank you.
To that point, I will say that I have been. I'm not gonna say we because I don't know. I can't. I have been in that situation. I was like, man, I feel like, well, she's not doing this for me, so I ain't doing
So
this.
I'm not gonna do this.
She's not doing that, so I'm not gonna do this.
Mhm.
And then I realized is that when I do that, that's counterproductive because now what I've done is, like you said earlier, I've now started the cycle.
Yeah.
Because now you're like, well, he was supposed to. He didn't. Well, I'm not. Since
I'm
he
not
didn't do
gonna-
that. I'm not gonna
do that.
So now we're both sitting around here mad at each other because we're playing tit for tat, trying to one up each other when all we're doing is creating a bigger hole.
And that's what it is. You create a bigger hole. You consistently get in this cycle, and then it's just like keeping score.
Right.
Now at this point, you're keeping score.
Right.
I'm not cooking for his ass because he didn't do X, Y, and Z. I'm not buying her shit for Valentine's Day. She don't deserve it because
But I'm not.
But I'm not.
But I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm not.
That's fine. I buy myself something and I say, thanks, babe.
I know.
That's how we do gifts nowadays. I be like, babe, oh my gosh, you shouldn't have.
Just what I wanted.
It's just what I wanted.
Isn't she cute?
God, it's so cute. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. The big piece of it is, how do you get out of the cycle?
Yeah.
Like, where, because it has to start somewhere. And it's always like, this is a relationship and marriage podcast, guys. It's always going to start with communication. It's going to be the answer.
Somebody has to be the bigger person. But granted, I understand that being the bigger person is not enough. Because if, let's say, for instance, you're being the bigger person and you're coming to me to talk about it so we can resolve this. If I'm not being receptive to the conversation, it's not going to help. Doesn't matter how big of a person you're going to be. If I'm not receptive, nothing's going to get solved. So it's like you have to get to a point or find that area in your marriage or in your relationship to where you guys can have a area or a space to where there's no judgment, right? Because if you have a history or you have a culture where you feel like, oh, they're just trying to have something to hold over me, I don't think that's really a good thing to have, because now you're always kind of like questioning motives in the back of your head.
Or why, like, hold things against them. Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying like playful things, but I'm saying like serious things, right? So it's like you still have to have an environment and a culture inside your marriage or your relationship to where you can have these conversations and come and get to a resolution. And then also you have to understand that sometimes you have to understand that not having a resolution is fine, because sometimes you're
You're
just
just
not
not gonna have
you're
one.
not you're just not
Yeah.
going to agree on everything.
Mhm.
And then at that point you have to understand on both sides that it is what it is. Now, is this going to be something that
Get hung up on?
we get hung are we
Mhm.
going to let this define us, or are we going to
Mhm.
just accept it is what it is and move on?
Right.
And but if you accept that it is what it is, from that point on, we now can't go back and reference how the other person made you feel in this,
Yeah.
because we already said that on this we're in an impasse.
Yeah.
So this can't be a talking point in any conversation going forward, because there was no resolution.
Right.
So if there's no resolution, technically we never agreed on what was right, what was wrong.
Right.
You have your view, I have my view. So this can't be used in any conversation going forward. And I think I think that's something that people have a hard time processing, because I feel like people a lot of times just want to be on the right side of the discussion,
Mhm.
right? They want to,
Well, they feel that they're right.
again, they want to feel validated in their feelings, right? And you can be validated. That don't mean I have to agree, because a
Right.
lot of times I validate how you feel all the time. I don't necessarily agree,
Yeah.
but I validate you because, okay, this is how you felt, babe. I see how you felt. I appreciate it. I appreciate you for telling me. I don't necessarily see it the way you see it,
Mhm.
but going forward, I'll try to make sure that I can either convey myself better,
Mhm.
or possibly see what you
The
see.
perspective that you have
Right.
on the situation. Yeah.
And
But
then
that's also taking accountability.
right.
Because I think when you're having these conversations, like you said before, about how you would feel like you're being attacked when I'm trying to explain to you how I'm feeling, but you're feeling attacked.
Yeah.
It's so easy for you to rebuttal and be like, oh, well, I behaved this way because you did this,
Mhm.
right? Or, the famous one, when someone's telling you how they feel, like, oh, you pissed me off, or you upset me, or you made me feel unloved, or you made me feel, and it's no, I didn't. How
Yeah.
did I do
Yeah.
that?
What are you talking
No,
about?
no, I didn't.
Right.
No, that's just in your head.
And that's the thing.
No.
And so one thing I've learned, and I want to say this to all the guys out there. One thing I learned is that validation does not mean you agree
Or that they won.
or that they won. Validation just means that you accept how they feel
Mhm.
or what they think
And
in
you
the
have
moment.
empathy for it.
It's not you demeaning yourself. It's not you taking the foot off your stance. It's not you all of a sudden saying, "Oh, she's right, so I guess I'll just no."
Forget about my feelings.
Yeah, it's none of that. Validation is just saying, "Oh, I'm sorry.
I wasn't aware of that.
I wasn't aware that's how you felt. I wasn't aware that how you see it. I apologize. I apologize if you felt like I contributed to this feeling.
Mhm. That wasn't my intention.
That was not my intention. I say that to you all the time.
Yeah,
Babe, that was not
that
my
was
intention.
not my intentions.
Right? And now what I do at this point, I now try to explain in some cases I just don't say anything. I say,
Yeah.
okay, right, depending on what it is. But most of the times I say, well, this is what I meant. Now, because what I hear is when I say something and she feels some way about it that wasn't intended for me, what I hear is that I did not convey what I needed to say
Mhm.
properly.
Mhm.
So
You
instead
didn't say it in a way that I could
right.
receive it.
That
Mhm.
is right. She didn't receive it the way I wanted her to receive it. So to me, I view it as a lesson. Oh, okay.
That approach didn't work.
Right. That didn't work. So now I got to take a different angle.
Yeah.
It's not always about her being combative with me, or me being combative with her. It's like, okay, how she's basically telling me that in this instance of communication, this is how I was perceived.
Mhm.
Right. So now let me take this, let me dissect this. Excuse me. Let me take this, let me dissect this and figure out how I can convey myself to her in a way where I am perceived in the light I want to be perceived, and with the meaning I mean, so that there is no doubt about what I mean
And what I'm saying.
or in what I'm saying.
Mhm.
But a lot of times I feel like guys feel like I'm not going to just validate anything because even if it's wrong, even if you believe she's wrong, her feelings are right because they're her feelings.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is like we always say, feelings versus facts. You can feel however you want.
Mhm.
2 + 2 is still 4.
Yeah.
You can say it's 6 till you're blue in the face.
Yeah.
And okay, babe, you believe 2 + 2 is 6? I respect that. That's your feelings. I don't see it that way. And now this is one of those times where we're just at an impasse.
Yeah.
So we just won't talk about why 2 + 2 isn't 6. You know what I'm saying? But I think that is the approach that I think us as men have to have. You can validate without taking your foot off your stance.
Without diminishing how
not,
you feel.
It's not you succumbing to her view or her reality. It's just you acknowledging that her reality that she is in is there. And so from that point, maybe you need to try to communicate differently. And it's no different from when you're a teacher, right? You cannot teach the same kid
the same way. Yeah.
Right? So as a man, you have to understand
each kid the same way.
You can't, right? So as a man, you have to understand, okay, maybe my communication methods that I have is not compatible with my partner.
Yeah.
So let me try to figure out how I can just convey what I mean without ruffling her feathers, or to a point to where she can at least comprehend and feel some of what I'm feeling or what I'm trying to convey. And that is where it is. It's like, you have to be mature enough as a man to understand that you are not perfect.
Yeah.
And just because you have, because who doesn't feel right in their stance, right?
Yeah.
Just because you feel right in the moment doesn't mean and again, I'm not gonna say it doesn't mean that you're not right.
Yeah.
It just means that you're not conveying it in the right manner.
Or it doesn't mean that you get to dismiss everything else that's happening or anything that she said because you feel like you're right. Because her feelings about it
2 + 2
matter.
is 4.
Right.
But she thinks it's 6, and it's all right. Some people went to public school, some people went to private school. Let her feel the way she feels.
I'm not doing this with him today. I'm just not going to do it.
Some people weren't part of STEM. Let her feel the way she feels.
Some people weren't in the magnet program.
They wasn't. Some people don't know what AVID stand for. So you let them feel the way they feel, and you validate their feelings. That does not, again, it does not mean that you agree. It does not mean that they that you have to disagree with it. It just means that you recognize and acknowledge her feelings. It doesn't mean she can be wrong. You're not. We're not saying she's right. We're just saying that I recognize how you feel, and there's nothing wrong with that, because just recognizing how someone feels,
sometimes that's all it is.
That's enough. That's enough to actually have a conversation go a little further.
Yeah,
and now you can explain yourself in detail.
You know what a good example of that is, and it's not even in relationship. When you're at, like, say for instance, you go to like a restaurant or a coffee shop, and there's like a really long line, and there's only 2 people working, right? Mm-hmm. And then the employees, they will shut down because they start feeling the energy of all the people who are getting annoyed and upset. Hurry up, But the minute one of them calls the line and says, "Thank you, everyone, for your patience. We're working as fast as we can. We got everyone going. Like, we're going to give you a free sample just for, like, for waiting. And we are so sorry about the wait." Just saying, like, we are so sorry about the wait, but we do appreciate you guys. We are moving as fast as we can. Instantly.
Right.
Instantly.
It's a change.
Customers are like, okay. Because they were acknowledged.
That's it. They were acknowledged.
Acknowledged.
You're going to have that one person, well, you're going to make me late. We'll go somewhere else.
Right. But that's the thing. And I, like, as someone who had a retail background, worked every single time without fail, because people want to be seen.
That's it.
People want to be heard. That's pretty much it. And especially women in relationships. Again, if I'm not seen, if I'm not heard, if I don't feel secure, love don't live here no more. Love don't live here no more. She don't. She moved down the street. So it takes a fool to learn. Okay. And she moved, right? Yeah. So that's why when we talk about like the cycle, part of the cycle, you gotta break the cycle.
Gotta break the cycle.
Because it will become the cycle. So
that's it.
Resolving the issue is understanding each other's core needs, right? Breaking the negative cycle. So that's through the communication. That means taking accountability, not getting defensive, being able to show up for your partner, show up for yourself, show up for your marriage, having communication strategies.
Now, I like that part. I like the expressing needs without accusing.
Yeah.
Because when you add the accuse in there,
right,
that's a whole different energy.
Everyone shuts down though.
That's energy.
That's the thing.
Because I know, for me, when you accuse me of something, it's only you only get 2 responses. I'm either gonna shut down and say, okay, I'm not talking about it then. You feel the way you feel, right? Or I'm coming with all the smoke. I done pulled up the trailer smoker behind me.
I
got 2,000 oxtails.
That's how he feels, if he feels like someone's calling him a liar.
Oh, I got the smoke because I will look here. I keep receipts. I
I can't.
I
Bye.
keep receipts. I keep this,
Um,
and I will show, and I will Google you to death.
so communication strategies.
Talk
Going
about it.
back to what you talked about
Hmm.
with maybe the communication, the
Hmm.
way that you communicate with your partner or the
Yeah,
way you communicate
yeah.
with your woman doesn't work for her,
Oh yeah.
like how she perceives it or her
But
communication type. So I think it's important
right,
talking about your communication types. I know I believe we did an episode
right.
about like communication
Yeah,
types too. I think that's something that's really, really,
important.
really
Because
important.
again, like we always say, it's not what you said, it's how
It's
you
how you
said it.
say it.
So let me ask you this: what sounds better to you? You never loved me anyway, or would you perceive me saying, I just don't feel loved?
I just don't feel loved.
Isn't that
Because
isn't that
if you come to me and say you never loved me
right?
anyway,
Because now,
instantly I feel insulted.
yeah, because I'm attacking you.
Yes, and it
Because I'm
feels
telling
like an attack.
because I'm telling you what you're not doing.
Yeah, and that's why I feel
but,
insulted.
But when I remove you from the equation, say, you know what, I'm just not feeling love right
Yeah.
now.
Now for me,
It's like,
in my ears hears like
I need
I'm
you.
empathy.
I need you to love me. Love me.
Yeah, I hear
Yeah,
empathy, and I'm just like, okay, so what is it about my actions that I'm not conveying
right.
that's making my partner feel
That shelf,
as if
you keep covering that shelf.
I have to wear pants in the gym, Maurice?
keep
Because if I
covering-
showed up without pants, they would ask me to leave.
I guess you're right. But at home,
I have a child.
just keep that move on then.
Okay.
Because the way it sit there.
So
and then
communication strategies.
drape off.
Okay.
Okay.
After that is small intentional actions.
Mm-hmm.
Small intentional actions go a long way.
It's the little things that's gonna keep you together.
That's it. Appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
Again, listening,
Mm-hmm.
affirming words.
Mm-hmm.
In your case, physical affection.
You are smart.
You is kind. Shut up. Shut up, Maurice.
I'm gonna stand by.
And then commitment to mutual growth.
Mm.
You know what I think it is?
See, here's the thing. Hold on now.
We both had a thought.
Hold on now. Now, when you say mutual growth, that one to me is kind of tricky.
That brings me to what I was gonna say though.
Okay, go ahead and say it.
I think that's where couples goal planning comes in.
Because that's what an impasse is.
Yes,
Mhm.
I think that's what it is. Because believe it or not, I do believe couples need to set goals.
Are you podding today, huh?
You guys have to set goals.
Uh-huh.
Not the kind of goals where y'all trying to decide where to go to vacation. Not
No.
those type of goals.
No.
No. But realistic, like reality, everyday goals.
Like,
Like,
how could we get these kids out of here exactly at 18?
bye, Maurice. but listen, like, you know, how can I be a better listener? Like, that's
Yeah,
a goal.
yeah.
That's something that you're gonna actively work towards. How can me and my partner actively spend
You know what I
more
did-
time together?
Right.
More like, you know, intimate time that's
Here's the-
non-sexual.
I got a list of things.
Oh gosh.
Right here's it.
Not a list of
Yeah, I
things,
do.
Jesus.
I do. I think here's a couple things that you should try to goal. No, it's just me.
It's just
Just me.
this is some of the things he
I
had
agree-
on
I-
our journal. That's all.
I agree. Like what you said. Non-sexual intimate time. I think
Mhm.
that's important.
It's very
where
important.
where you guys are just together, you're in an intimate situation, intimate setting, doing things that's non-sexual, where you're just enjoying
Each other's
the
company.
company
Mhm,
of one another, right?
mhm.
And I think another thing is like what sometimes I wake up and just say, what can I do today to make her life easy?
Mhm.
It's not, and it doesn't matter how I feel about whatever the task is. I can suffer through it one day.
Yeah.
Just to, so that way, because I feel like when I do that, you can verify it. I feel like when I do that, not only am I making your life easy, you're looking at me as like, okay, he does see what I do. And then now that opens up another level of appreciation
Mhm.
from you as to what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Right.
And it inspires me
To
to
do-
want to reciprocate
right,
that. Mhm.
Right. So that's another thing. Like, ask yourself, what can I do to make? And then my other thing is like I also say, what can I do today to surprise her in a good way?
Mhm.
And it's not necessarily doing something for you that you would normally do for yourself, but like, what can I do that when I show up, it's completely will catch her off guard. Now,
Yeah.
whether that be like the times I bring you flowers, or the time I'll go and I'll get you something that's your favorite thing, or
Mhm.
whatever. Like, how can I spark something in her? Like, oh dang, my baby was really thinking. Like, just the thought of having her thinking, my baby was thinking about me
He
today.
thought about me today.
You know, it wasn't just business as usual. He
Yeah.
thought about me. And then the other thing is, what I try to do is I say, how can I make myself better so that I am more appealing,
Mhm.
right? Because I think that's another area of marriage and relationship people don't think about. Yeah, you attracted them. Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys got together.
Yeah.
But
You still
again,
have a
like
responsibility
with
to
the
that.
mutual growth,
Yeah.
how can I grow to make myself more desirable as a husband,
Mhm.
as a father,
Mhm.
not as a father, but as a husband, as a boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
How can I, as a partner, how can I make myself more desirable? How can I step up and do the things where she looks at me and is like, "Damn, that's my baby."
Yeah.
Oh my, okay, I
Like
see
me
you.
taking video of you in the gym like
Okay,
this.
pervert, pervert. But I'm
Say
just saying, it's just like yeah, the goal planning, but you have to be on the same page,
yeah.
right?
But you won't know
Right.
that until you goal plan too.
Yeah, right, right,
You got a goal
right.
plan.
And you cannot be dismissive of each other.
Yeah.
That is not communicating.
Nope.
That is
Don't just let it go.
that
Don't
is
sweep it under the
that's
rug
it. And you
because that
have
rug will get dirty.
you have to like you have to practice having the hard conversations, right? Now, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna stop talking. Um, one of the shows I used to watch all the time and love, which she hates, is How I Met Your Mother,
Can't
right?
stand this show.
I love that show for many reasons, right? But the one thing I loved about that show was Marshall and Lily, who was the couple on there. They had a rule where no matter how heated the argument got, they could pause.
Mm-hmm.
They would just pause the argument, and then we're not gonna we're gonna discuss it. We're gonna talk about it, and when it gets heated, we're gonna pause.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna walk away. We're gonna act like we're not even arguing.
Yeah.
We're gonna act like nothing's happening. And now once we both calm down, we're gonna unpause and talk to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's crucial in marriage because you have to practice and practice having the uncomfortable conversations. And when you get to a level to where you see red, and
Yeah.
now you're just strictly defensive, and you don't care what they're saying.
Yeah.
All right, pause. Time out.
Yeah. Because now you're losing sight of what
Right.
we're going through anyway.
Because I'm getting to the point to where now I'm just protecting me.
Yeah.
And I don't care what you're saying.
Yeah. Because now
So
the
time-
boxing gloves are on.
So now to time out.
Yeah.
Let's take a break.
Yeah.
And we've done that. Well, we don't say pause, but we've done that. We just say, okay, look, let's
Before I say something
before I
that
say
you can't
something,
come back
right,
from.
let me
Because you know how I am when my feelings are hurt
right,
sometimes.
Right, bro, like her eyes. Let's just put this on the shelf and come back to this later because right now,
So I tell them
right now feelings are too high. Emotions are going crazy, and we're not hearing each other. We're just talking.
We're just talking.
So nothing like that's something you really have to try to master, and that's really what's gonna help you be in these long
goodbye
repeated.
But this goes back to
hold on repeated reruns constantly, same channel, TV1 on all day.
Okay, goodbye.
Type marriage.
Goodbye. But I'll just finish with this. All of this, all the discussion, the cycles, the arguing, all of that, and trying to work through them, trying to get a resolve, trying to grow together, all that is part of when people say marriage is hard work.
It's hard.
That's what hard. The work is. So when people talk about, marriage is work. It's not necessarily in a negative light or in a negative sense. They mean like trying to coexist with someone that you deeply care for, that you deeply love, and still trying to have an identity in that relationship and ensure that not only are your mental and physical things are taken care of, but their mental and physical things are taken care of. And the work that it takes for you both to get through that and work through that and be mindful of, that is the work of relationship.
Right.
That is the work of marriage.
Okay.
Alrighty. That was good. Good little discussion, babe. So we're gonna move into our two cents. This is a little bit of a long one, babe.
Is it?
But I would really love to get your perspective.
Long-winded.
Even though I already know what your answer is gonna be, I know what your answer is gonna be because I know this guy. But I want to hear. Okay, ready? Am I the asshole for getting it elsewhere since my wife didn't want to have sex anymore? Basically, my wife has decided unilaterally that we are done having sex. She found out that she cannot have kids due to a choice that she made before we met. And kids apparently are the only reason that she was willing to even have sex.
Oh, wow.
I love my wife and I enjoy being intimate with her, but it was making our marriage untenable after 2 years of this.
Oh,
So I posted for advice. I got a lot of great support and suggestions about how to talk to my wife, and I tried all of it. I started going for counseling for myself as well. But no matter how I approached her about our situation, she would not try and see it from my point of view. Every discussion would end with her crying and screaming in my face that I am trying to emotionally manipulate her. I then wrote her a letter outlining my feelings and asking her to come with me to counseling and to seek it for herself independently, perhaps to even go see a doctor. I was kind and loving in the letter. The last thing I wanted to do was to set her off. I worked on my wording with the counselor to make sure that I wasn't saying anything aggressive that could be misrepresented. She read the letter. She then scrolled across it with a red Sharpie that said, "Go get it elsewhere because you are not getting it from me," end quote. Then she walked out. I sat there for about an hour doing nothing. Then I told myself that that was what I was going to go do, get it elsewhere. We're both fairly successful in our jobs. I'm not super attractive, but I am fit and a good talker. It took a while, but I met someone. Wow. We started out as friends, but it became physical. I made sure she knew that I was married, but she was not interested in a relationship, so I guess it's a safe option for the both of us. My wife found out because I didn't try and hide it. She was crying when I got home one night. When I came in, she asked if I was going to leave her. I said no. She asked if I was cheating on her, and I said that I was just getting sex elsewhere. She said that was cheating, and I didn't agree. I asked her what she wanted to do. She said that I had to stop. I asked her if we were going to start having sex. She said that I was an irrational asshole if I thought that she would have sex with me after I cheated. I went to my desk and pulled out a photocopy of the letter that I had wrote her and her answer on it. I went to have a shower and go to my room to go to sleep. When I woke up, she was sitting on the couch waiting to talk. She said that she reread the letter and that she realized something that she had not before. She assumed it was just a letter that was me begging for sex. She said that she would go for counseling alone and with me, and all I had to do was stop having sex elsewhere. I said that I would be willing to pause my friendship until we saw a counselor, and that if I saw progress in our relationship, then I would break it off. She said she wouldn't agree to the counseling without me leaving the other woman. It almost turned into a fight, so I just went for my run. Before I left, I asked her what would compel her to go to counseling if I stopped having sex elsewhere. When I got back, she still didn't have an answer for me. She couldn't even say that our relationship was worth saving. I don't want a divorce, but I am willing to leave her over this. I am a 28-year-old male. I am not going to go the rest of my life without sex. And she refuses to see my side. Any advice?
Toot that ass up, mommy, get it low. Oh, sir. For me, this is a deal breaker. Let me tell you right now.
That's why I said I already know your answer.
If you came with me tomorrow, and I would ask you the same question. So, am I free to get it elsewhere, or
do you want to discuss arrangements?
Right, like how do you want
to do this?
Right, and
how would you like to do the next lifetime?
And I would also say that since you don't want, I'm willing to give it to you. You just not give it to me. That'll mean you can go get it elsewhere.
Oh, wait a minute.
Because I'm willing. You're forcing me to go elsewhere. So you stay here.
So you stay right here with your no sex habit.
You stay here and be celibate. And I'm gonna go out here and give me a concubine.
That'll just be an aspect of our relationship that we just don't come together on. And if you're willing to, if you're already willing to relinquish it, knowing that when you agreed to marry me, that would be a part of the marriage.
You're not keeping your vows.
That would be a part of the marriage, and now you have taken that off of the table. Yeah. And I don't want to dismantle my marriage. Then we need to find a situation that works for the both of us. And right now, I mean, it's kind of working because my needs are being met, and I'm still here with you. Like,
Yeah.
we still gonna be together. Like, I'm still taking care
But
of
here's my
things.
thing. Here's
I
what
mean, it ain't gonna last that long, I don't
here's what I
think,
feel.
but
I felt like she was perfectly fine because I felt like I don't think that she misread the letter at all. I think this is something she said after the fact because I don't think she really thought he would go out there and get somebody else.
I
And
don't
now
think she read it
I think she
because
did.
she wrote across it in Sharpie after he gave it to her.
I think she did.
Okay.
So, but now that there's another person in the picture,
She don't like that.
she don't like that
Mm-mm.
at all.
She didn't mean it when she said go get it elsewhere.
Right. She didn't mean it.
It was like a figure of speech.
She didn't mean it, but he took it literally. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Men, we take things literally. Don't sit here and say something you don't mean because if you say, hey, if you find somebody that's want to give you some ass.
Well, it wouldn't be where he wouldn't believe her because he believes the fact that she's already told him that since we can't have kids, I'm not having sex. And that is something she has held true.
Okay.
So when she wrote, go get it elsewhere,
You believe it too.
it's not hard for him to believe you meant that too.
Yeah, so he wouldn't got it. But now that he wouldn't got it, now was an issue because now she feel like she got competition. But I guarantee.
No, I think it's one of those things where she just feels like he's mine.
But here's the thing. She has to understand, she has to know that if they were to divorce, she would have to be single because there's no other relationship she's going to get into with a straight heterosexual man.
That's not true. I disagree with that.
She's going to find a straight man that don't want to.
Babe, you'd be surprised.
Okay.
Men, I mean, probably more women, but you'd be surprised how uninterested some men and women are, disinterested they are in sex.
Well, let me tell you something.
I know you ain't one of them.
Let me tell you something.
Really? You gonna turn to the side? He can't see face.
Let me tell you something.
You go ahead and try that shit if you want to.
Right. Right. It ain't gonna go the way you think it is.
Well, see,
because if you write on a piece of paper, go get it somewhere else. I'm gonna say, you sure?
I'm only gonna say, are you sure once?
One time, and I'm gonna have that it's gonna be on video. Because if you try,
so when you go to court,
she said it was cool because she didn't want to put out. So she said I can go get it somewhere else.
And that's what I did.
And that's exactly what I did.
And I see Stacy 3 times a week.
Would be Stacy. I don't like the name.
I'm sure she could change it for you.
Nah.
But yeah, but the other thing that I think about though is why? Why? Because I think there's a bigger and more serious issue there.
See, here you go, woman-splaining shit.
It's not woman-splaining, but I think
she should have went to counseling the first time.
I think there's a bigger issue there as to her view about physical intimacy. And that needs to be explored, And
so you're saying something may have happened in her past,
possibly,
to turn her off from.
And the only reason why she, like he said, the only reason why she was interested in doing it anyway was for kids. So basically, she was just on. And here's the thing: so now, by her saying that also means that once she got her babies, she was also gonna say,
"She done.
I'm done."
But see, now that you said that I couldn't go out because the empathy in me, but like I feel for her.
Well, yeah, because there's a trauma there.
That would change my mindset.
There's a trauma there.
Yeah, that would change my mindset situation.
There's a trauma there, and that's someone that you genuinely love. Now, don't get me wrong.
I have to get me a robot.
Don't get me wrong. Like that's a moment that should be shared between the two of you. But like you and most men, I'm not going to enjoy it with my wife if I know that this is something that she, like, it's not that she's not even interested. She absolutely does not want to do this. And I know she doesn't want to do it.
If you're not into it, I'm better off with my hand.
Exactly. So that's why I said that there's something bigger at play here. We don't know what the history was. And then he said that they can't have kids due to something that she did when she was younger that has obviously affected her now in her adult life. We don't know what that is. And we don't know whatever that was that happened. There was a trauma that happened prior to that, or there was a trauma that caused that. And so now there's a whole psychological thing around it. And it could be that she's like, I'm not even worth it anymore. Like, you know what I mean? There could be something serious, because I think that has to be something serious. If you have a fully capable, healthy adult who has zero interest, especially they're 28. He's 28, so I'm going to assume she's about the same age. Yeah. That has zero interest in having a sexual relationship with their partner, and they're in a marriage. Yeah. then we have to explore that. We have to talk about that. And then also, was that not discussed prior to marriage?
Right.
Because then that's a whole nother level of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can understand that from his perspective too, because it's like, you never mentioned any of this before.
That's what I'm saying. You lied to me, and now you're not even honoring.
Well, we don't know that.
Okay, well, you didn't disclose.
Yeah. So I mean, I think there's a lot.
Same as lying.
There's a lot behind that, but I do appreciate you saying like, okay, I would need to reevaluate that because I didn't think about it from that perspective.
I would, because I'm not a complete asshole. Yeah. I do have empathy.
Yeah.
And I'm on not, like in our instance, like if something was to happen to you in like medically. Yeah. Not mentally, but medically.
Oh wow.
I would be understanding, right? Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't now. Granted, I'm gonna go do something. I'm not with somebody else, but I'm gonna
like
buy,
take care of yourself or whatever.
I'm gonna give me some toys or something, make it happen. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna get it. Yeah, one way or another. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna release.
You've made that clear.
I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
Don't say it. Don't say it. I don't want to get flagged. But yeah. So I would just say take everything into consideration, sir. Yeah. But you're not wrong for how you feel either. But take everything into consideration because it does sound like you love her. Like you said, you don't want a divorce. And if this is just one aspect of your marriage that you guys aren't coming together on, okay, so be it. But I don't believe that you can continue to have a sexual relationship with somebody and it not turn into something more. Whether she's looking for a relationship or not, and you're just using it for a good time.
He wasn't that attractive, so maybe she just won't.
But like he said, he let her know up front that he is married. He let her know the situation, and she told him that she's not looking for a relationship. But that's not sustainable in long term. Somebody's gonna get feelings, and chances are it's gonna be the woman.
Can I say one thing before we get out of here?
What?
Evil is good and ass is good.
Oh my gosh.
And if you get you a piece of evil
ass, woo!
And if you get you a piece of evil ass, woo!
Vampire in Brooklyn, in case you guys didn't know the reference to the movie. Anyway, this has been another episode of the Life After I Do podcast. If you're not doing so already, don't forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all of them. I was going to say Instacart.
Are we on Instacart?
No, TikTok. Don't forget to like and share the videos when you guys see the videos and the clips and the reels. We love engaging with you guys. Y'all be on fire over there on TikTok and them comments. Them comments keep me rolling. Y'all keep me busy over there. So I enjoy that. You can also write into the podcast at lifeafteridopodcast@gmail.com, and you get a new episode every Wednesday. And until then,
go get you a piece of your ass. Peace, booskies.